Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to Real Talk on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. This is where we close out the night shift week. And we'll kick it off with Ricardo, Drew, Drastic, and Lily. It's called Change the World.
It's Drastic for the girls. If I could change the world, there'd be no hatred and envy. Show love for no pretending. If I could change the world, there'd be no race, no color. There'd be more love, not drama. If I could change the world, it would be somewhere out here. There'd be no 9 to 5 here. If I could change the world, that's me. If it were you, what would you do? Alright. Real change is a good look. We never need no money or a bank book. I wanna walk in a store and get whatever I want, whenever I want. I promise nobody will ever go hungry. Not around me. No way, I say every day would be a high day. We party like a Friday. And if I girl give you wine, you must take a wine. If you don't, there's a crime day. Unless she have a man, there would be no racism, hatred or suppression. There'd be no form of depression. Not in my world. If I could change the world, if I could change the world, I would make ice cream a breakfast. Every other day would be Christmas. We would feel no pain, never have to cry. We would never have to work a day in our life. Every child would be happy. Growing up with some mommy and daddy. Trust me, what a wonderful world it would be. Cause every day would be a high day. When we party like a Friday. And if a girl give you wine, well you must take your wine. If you don't, there's a crime day. Unless she have a man, it will be all love and no hate. These are the things that I would do if I could change the world. If I could change the
So normally I'm greeting people at this time, but I just got a notification and it just disappeared. Something about some airline doing something, and I'm looking for it here, so please forgive me.
I would make ice cream a breakfast. Every other day would be Christmas. We would feel no pain, never have to cry. We would never have to work a day in our life. Every child would be happy. Growing up with some mommy and daddy. Trust me, what a wonderful world it would be. Cause every day would be a high day. When we party like a Friday. And if a girl give you wine, well you must take your wine. If you don't, there's a crime day. Unless she have a man, it will be all love and no hate. These are the things that I
Okay, so I'm not finding that information. Ah boy, I guess we'll see it in the morning. I don't know if anybody heard about the random Boandara attack in Norway. That's kind of new.
I wanna walk in a store.
There were 5 people, well, 5 dead and 2 injured.
I promise nobody will ever go hungry.
Bow and arrow attack.
No way, I say every day would be a
That's creative.
we party like a Friday. And if a girl give you wine, well you must take a wine. If you don't, there's a crime day. Unless she have a man, there would be no racism,
More concerning,
no suppression. There'd be no
in Oklahoma and Kansas,
my world. If I could change the world,
There are tornado touchdowns. Yeah, if I could change the world, we probably wouldn't have those. I want to officially say greetings and salutations to everybody locked in right now. Those tuned in on TuneIn Radio on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Big ups to those on NIE Radio to New Jersey. Big ups to the Motivator. Remember, you can catch Motivator on Motivation Thursdays. And also on Saturdays.
These are the things that I would do if I could change the world.
Big ups to those on the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com. Catch Clinton midday till 3.
Whatever I want, whenever I want.
The one and only Mr. Lindsay. Yeah, man. MC1.
Not around there. No way, I say.
Big up to those locked in on PEMGTV.com.
And if I tell you wine, you must
Those on CR7.
unless you have a man. There would be no racism.
Those who follow the
Suppression. They'd be
podcast, The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew, or the YouTube channel of the same name. Big ups to you. I want to say thank you to my segment sponsor, Pulse EMG, Pulse Media Group. They do everything you see here on kevinstew.com and more.
it would be Christmas. We would feel no pain, never have to cry. We would never have to work a day and
Whether you have a church service, a funeral, a wedding, a seminar, a graduation, a party, you name it. You have an event you want to stream live
with me.
on a secure platform, your own platform maybe.
Hide it when we
They can hook you up. Give them a call, 754-999-1140.
there's a crime there.
That's 754-999-1140.
Oh, hey. These are the things that I would do if I could change the world. If I could change the world.
You can also check out pulsecmg.com if you want to check out Pulse Media Group online.
Every other day would be Christmas. We would feel no pain.
Hit them up and tell them, hey, listen,
Work a day and I
I heard DJ Kevin Stew talking about you. I want to know what you can do for me. I have an event that,
trust me. Once I wonder,
yeah, let it start that way and let it go from there.
cause every day we hide it, hide it. When we party like a Friday, Friday. And if I got
That's the way I would do it.
wine, if you don't, there's a crime there. Unless she have a man.
If you believe there's another way to do it, fine, go ahead, you do it that way.
These are the things that I would do if I could change the world.
But Pulse Media Group, 754-999-1140 gets you in touch with them.
If I could change the world.
It's Real Talk Wednesday. I want to say big ups to those locked in on Facebook Live. Inviting you to call a friend, tell a friend, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too. Call everybody, let them know. It's Real Talk on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Big ups to those who are locked in at the home of the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment. So glad to have each and every one of you. You know, I couldn't do it without you. And I give you my word, I wouldn't even try. Hey Dave, you're early tonight. How you doing, bro?
So well.
If I could change the world. So, do you believe you can? Tonight we're talking about beliefs. And we're not talking about it from the angle of, you know, this is my religious belief. Or, we're going more general than that, a little bit more general than that. But let's look at the concept of belief to get us started. And this is just from my head, from Kevin Stew. This is not anybody's writings. This is not anything. You know, where do beliefs come from? Now, of course, my general idea of it comes from various readings that I've done, various podcasts I've listened to, in large part from the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Four Agreements. If not, get familiar with it. The Four Agreements changed my life. And you would think that it was something phenomenal. It's really basic stuff. But when you sit down and pay attention to it for a moment, it really does put things into perspective and change things for you. And there's also the Fifth Agreement that was written by Don Miguel Ruiz and his senior, and his son Don Jose Ruiz, whom I had as a guest on this broadcast 2 years ago. I'd like to think it was. Now, one of the things that struck me, and it really just makes simple sense, is that your beliefs are pretty much what you were taught when you were younger. That's what it boils down to. So, both his sons, Kelly Ray, Don Miguel Jr. and Don Jose, phenomenal. And if you check on my YouTube archives, you will catch that broadcast where I had a nice chat with Don Jose Ruiz, author of My Friend the Rattlesnake, co-author of The Fifth Agreement. So the Four Agreements basically is go along this line. Be impeccable with your word. Do not take anything personally. Do not assume, and always do your best. Those are the Four Agreements. And the Fifth Agreement is be skeptical, but listen. So, real cool. Arvel, big ups to you, Arvel. It's been a minute. Much love to you, bro. Give the family my love also, please. So, here it is. We have beliefs. And we hold on to those beliefs and we hold them dear. For whatever reason, it's like there's nothing beyond our beliefs. Whether religious or political or academic, whatever it is, scientific, whatever it is, we hold on to those things. And they don't seem to ever be able to be changed. But in the same way that you learn them, you can unlearn them. And, it's like being colorblind and believing that something that you see a particular way is a particular way. But you're colorblind, so how are you going to know different? So that's, I guess, as simple as I can put it. Kelly can pretty it up in many different ways because she's good like that. And Dr. Kelly Ray, feel free to call in at any time, put in your 2 cents, 3 cents, dollar, cent, 5 cents, $10, any amount you want to put in, because the line is always open to you. Numbers to call, numbers to text: 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. How do you feel about your beliefs? You can call, text, WhatsApp, Telegram, to get on in. Of course, I do invite y'all to jump into the Stew Pot on kevinstew.com. What the Stew Pot is what others call a chat room. But because we're fancy on kevinstew.com, it is the Stew Pot. It's where we keep things interactive and bubbling. It's a judgment-free zone. And remember, kevinstew.com is where you go to have acceptance through enlightenment. That's what we encourage. So come on over, jump on in. You can remain anonymous. There are no comments that are considered stupid. There's no such thing. Because all opinions and comments are welcome. We just ask that you keep it respectful. right? You can remain anonymous. You can put your name to let us know who you are so we can interact directly on a more personal level. Yeah? Cool. So, and going to kevinstew.com, you don't need to register. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't need to give your spleen or a firstborn, make a blood sacrifice, none of that. All right? Real open, real simple. Now, according to psychology today, and I'm going to put my own opinions in there as we go along the way. According to psychology today, and a psychologist by the name of Ralph Lewis, Lewls, Lewls is his name. He says beliefs are a slippery concept. And the question is asked, what actually are they? Now, philosophy has long struggled to define them. And I don't know if any of the listeners here tonight have a definition of their own when it comes to beliefs. In this post-truth and ideologically polarized world, we need a better understanding of beliefs. I agree. As a psychiatrist, Dr. Lewell's job frequently involves identifying distorted beliefs, understanding how they are formed, and helping people to learn to be more skeptical of their own beliefs. Now let's consider a helpful evolutionary framework for making more coherent sense of what beliefs really are, and why mistaken beliefs can often or sometimes be so hard to change. Well, first of all, what makes them mistaken? Because it is not the belief of the majority. What makes a belief mistaken? Then we'll also look at how to gain a more accurate grasp of reality and how ultimately to advance society. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, the concept of living a good life, I don't know if it is one where in my reality you would find unicorns and leprechauns, because it's so far-fetched. But it is far-fetched because I guess I can't find a group of like-minded individuals to start a community of our own. I don't know. But we can share as we go along, right? Cool. Beliefs are our brain's way of making sense of and navigating our complex world. They are mental representations of the ways our brains expect things in our environment to behave and how things should be related to each other. The patterns our brain expects the world to conform to, these are our beliefs. Beliefs are templates for efficient learning and are often essential for survival. You know, I grew up hearing belief kills and belief cures. And it does, because the mind is such a powerful thing. The brain is an energy expensive organ. So it had to evolve energy conserving efficiencies. As a prediction machine, it must take shortcuts for pattern recognition as it processes the vast amount of information received from the environment by its sense organ outgrowths. Beliefs allow the brain to distill complex information, enabling it to quickly categorize and evaluate information and to jump to conclusions. The brain is very active, you see. For example, beliefs are often concerned with understanding the causes of things. If thing B closely followed thing A, then A might be assumed to have been the cause of B. You know, cause and effect, right? That's what we learn. These shortcuts to interpreting and predicting our world often involve connecting dots and filling in gaps. making extrapolations and assumptions based on incomplete information and based on similarity to previously recognized patterns. In jumping to conclusions, our brains have a preference for familiar conclusions versus unfamiliar ones. As a result, our brains are prone to, well, making error. Sometimes seeing patterns where there are none. And this may or may not be subsequently identified and corrected by error detection mechanisms. It's a trade-off between efficiency and accuracy. Think about this for a moment. Here it is. Actually, I'll use a real-life situation, something that the scientists from back in the day, psychologists from back in the day, Pavlov, for as to be precise. His example, Pavlov's dogs. We were talking about jumping to conclusions. So, and this speaks to conditioning. Here it is, Pavlov had his dogs, and every time he would put the dog's food into these containers, it would make a sound. And so, the dogs hearing the sound would come running because, what? They expect to get fed. This is what it was. The sound of the container meant they were being fed. So what you do? Knock the container with it empty, or make a noise with the container with it being empty, and what happens? The dogs come running, salivating and all. It's conditioning. So their belief is that the sound is equal to being fed. It's a belief. And so we live our lives this way. So now they didn't have to relearn what it meant when they heard this sound. They heard the sound, they knew it was food, and boom, bang, bing, it's a done deal. Now, I digress to the information at hand. In its need for economy and efficiency, or energy consumption, efficiency of energy consumption, the default tendency of the brain is to fit new information into its existing framework for understanding the world, rather than repeatedly reconstructing that framework from scratch. Pavlov's dogs. Now, it seems likely that the processes in the brain involved in abstract belief information evolved from simpler processes involved in interpreting sensory perception. Since we experience the external world entirely through our senses, we find it hard to accept that these perceptions are sometimes subjectively distorted, and that they are not necessarily reliable experiences of objective reality. People tend to trust their physical senses and to believe their perceptions even when they are hallucinating, and no matter how bizarre their perceptual distortions. People will layer explanations on top of their perceptions of reality to explain away contradictions. And we find this happening over and over, time and time again. This has been happening for the past, how long now? We're in October of 2021. Throughout 2020, I would say from, February 2020? At least when the lockdowns started, through today, in October of 2021. That's basically what has been happening. Layering explanations on top of perceptions of reality. Yep. If you don't believe me, go and check back. Check back. Kelly Ray says it's been happening since the beginning of time. But let's use something more relevant, more recent, if we'd use that. Hey Dora, how are you? Big ups to our friends down there in Brazil, Radio Crystal Gospel. Much love to you guys down there. Now, we give our subjective experience too much credence, and so we give it to our beliefs. we will more readily explain away evidence that contradicts our cherished belief by expanding and elaborating that belief with additional layers of distorted explanation, rather than abandoning it. Try to say abandoning 5 times fast. Abandoning that fundamentally, or even fundamentally reconstructing it. We'd rather hold on to it for dear life and add to it and add to it and find excuses, find reasons, find whatever it is that will support that belief, rather than just simply realizing that, hey, maybe, just maybe, I had this all wrong. Just maybe, every time I was told that this part, if I swallow bubblegum, it will tie up my intestines. Remember being told that as a child? Or if you keep making that face, your face is gonna get stuck in that position. Remember that one? Now, can you imagine believing that? Here's one, and I was reminded of this one as I went over the 4 agreements again. I was listening to it on audiobook. Here's a story. Mother gets home with a headache, and her daughter was singing, all in our own little world and singing up a storm. And because the mother is frustrated, the mother has a headache, it caused the mother headache to get worse. And as she's there, she just shouts out for her daughter to stop and tells her that her voice is ugly. Now her daughter takes this and believes it. Here we go, the belief. And as a result, boom, she doesn't sing anymore. Now, this daughter could have had a beautiful voice, but she decided, you know what? My mother told me that my voice was ugly. Here it is, the one that I trust the most in this world. It's telling me that this thing that I have is ugly. And so she never sings again. And 20 years later, she still doesn't sing. Why? Because that was the story that she was told. Now, it wasn't true, but she believes it. So, here's a concept. Fact and belief are just about the same thing. Wild concept, right? Now, go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong. However, even the concept of right or wrong is up for debate because of one's belief. So, before we go on this break and we say see you to Facebook Live, you were thinking about the frozen face one, Julie, Kelly. Yeah, we were all told the frozen face one. Hey, Julianne, how you doing? So, here's a concept, a fact. Now, it is a fact that you were told that if you keep making that face, your face will remain that way. Is that information factual? Basically, is it true? So we have found that it is not true. Or we have stopped making that face because we believe that it was true. Now, is that belief true? Well, no, it is not. So, just like we are given facts all the time, it is a fact probably because it is documented. But is it truth? Therein now lies the difference. And with that, we're going to have to dig a little bit deeper. Over and over again, we're given facts as they are presented by someone of influence. It is a fact that Christopher Columbus, quote unquote, discovered places like you had Columbus Day in Jamaica, in the United States, which passed, a week ago, which is not observed anymore. It's no Indigenous People Day, but in Jamaica, I grew up hearing that Christopher Columbus discovered Jamaica. But if you read the story some more, you will find that he said he found people there. So if you go somewhere and there's something there already, there are people there already, there's civilization, how is it that you're going to discover it? So it's a fact based on history books that people in another part of the world believe that Christopher Columbus discovered this place in another part of the world. That's a fact. But is it factual that Christopher Columbus discovered Jamaica? No, it's not. Because people were living there. It wasn't lost. It existed. It's just that he stumbled upon it. So it's a fact that he stumbled upon Jamaica when he did. There you go. So now that belief that he discovered Jamaica has to change based on the truth. All right, I'll let that marinate for a while. Christopher Columbus was a drunken sailor who discovered he was lost. I love that, Kelly. I really love that. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we talk some more. Looking at beliefs and what they are and why they are so hard to break. Call your friends, tell your friends, friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too, because this information works for everybody, right? If they don't want it, that's fine. They don't have to take it. But let them know that it's available. Come back, go to kevinstew.com. I pinned the link. Oh, yes, greetings, Dora. We're going to jump off Facebook Live. I pinned the link in the comment section for those of you guys on Facebook. Do use the link. Come on over. I like the company. So come on over, jump into the stew pot, interact with me the same way that we are interacting here on Facebook Live. It's just one click away. All right? Cool. So we'll be right back after these few messages.
Pulse Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulse Media Group.
Reggae Global Entertainment presents the brand new self-titled album from Yishka with 9 great songs. Oh, baby, let me love you.
Oh, baby.
Be grateful for life.
Be grateful for life.
Shake you down.
Girl, I wanna shake you
What else can I do?
What else can I do?
Babe, come over.
Baby, come over.
My. It's our time.
It's our time You know I love you.
For your love,
I would do anything.
I'm falling.
In love again.
Yishka. 9 great songs. Available on all streaming platforms.
You sure look good tonight.
Available now.
Imagine having our own Caribbean Center.
Imagine a museum highlighting our history and the contributions of Caribbean people to the world.
Imagine being able to visit and learn about the islands we call home.
In a place where our kids can see and feel their cultural heritage. You can make this vision come to life.
Help us create this first of its kind space
That all Caribbean people can be proud of. Your contribution to Island Space Caribbean Museum will help this dream come true.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe.
Visit islandspacefl.org/GoFundMe and donate today.
Yes, my people. Check out I Red Funks on Reggae Global Radio every Saturday at 8 p.m. with Kev Steele, where I'll give you a pre-life. Brand new. Good for you. Kick it like a ball if you don't say a dance song. You hear that?
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin Stew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the weather, just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin Stew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine to representing word and honor. It's Celestia DJ Kevin Stew. I hold I know. I hold I say. I reconsider. I see you fully. Christopher Colombo is a jam blast lion. Christopher Colombo is a jam blast lion. Yes, jam. He's saying that he's the first one who discovered Jamaica. And I say that. What about the other Indians and the few black men who were down here before him? The Indians couldn't make no longer. Here comes black man and woman and children. And in a jam double. Holy pa mix up, a holy pa pedo. Happy straight now. Crispy pa cologos, is a jam blasted lion. Crispy pa cologos, is a jam blasted lion.
Want to welcome you back to the broadcast. Bouncing out to the sound of Burning Spear in the background. A track called Christopher Columbus. Yeah, I guess since I brought him up, you know. Yeah.
What a long stay from home. High and I longing to go home. Between a red queen and go rope. Come on, great tribe of Israel.
I do want to remind everyone, those here in South Florida, GMAT Music Solutions presents Rhythm of the Heart, the October edition, happening at Valencia's in Margate, Florida, at 5801 Margate Boulevard. The tickets pre-sold are $10. There's more at the door. Tickets available on Eventbrite and with yours truly. So you can connect with me for a ticket to the Earth Date celebrations of G-Mac himself at Rhythms of the Heart, the October edition.
Holy mix up.
And I want to say thank you to my segment sponsor, Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea SU is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broad County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you bringing her tables, her oils, and of course her Healing Heavenly Hands. Give her a call, 954-655-9000. That's 954-655-9000. You can also email her at thealata@att.net. She only has one request outside of paying her, that you get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. And she made that a little bit of a rule just because I would always fall asleep. Right there on the table. She's not even done with the massage. I'm out. I just have to take her word for it that she did all that she said she was going to do. I'm fine with it. I believe her. Again, numbers to get you in touch, 773-789-STEW, 773-789-7839. You can call, you can text, you can WhatsApp, you can Telegram. So, continuing with this information courtesy of psychology today, looking at beliefs. Primitive nervous systems evolved in simple organisms, in part to serve the function of homeostasis, a dynamic psychological state of equilibrium or stability, a steady state of internal conditions. Homeostasis is structured around a natural resistance to change, following the same principle as a thermostat. Now, the lower, primitive parts of our human brains maintain homeostasis of breathing, heart rate, blood pressure, temperature, energy balance, and a variety of endocrine processes. So too, beliefs preserve a kind of cognitive homeostasis, a stable, familiar approach to processing information about our world. We should expect that the homeostatic function that defined primitive brains would likely have been preserved as an organizing principle in the evolution of more complex brains. Certainly, complex brains are geared toward reacting, learning, and adapting. That comes from training, right? But just like primitive brain functions, these adaptations are ultimately in the service of maintaining homeostasis in an ever-changing environment. So, they say practice makes perfect. Over time, if you practice to do something, then you become better at it. And if it is in the case of self-defense, here it is now, your homeostasis, that preservation of self. If a certain condition comes into play, if people start to do certain things, you defend yourself in certain ways. Why? To preserve self. Cool? Cool. So radically reconstructing our belief system and creating a new worldview engages parts of the brain involved in higher reasoning processes and computation, and is consequently more effortful, time and energy consuming. Now, I guess you can say the brain is lazy, but with the brain doing that much work, how then can you say the brain is lazy? Well, if it is going to go off a set of predetermined parameters for an end result to an event, then because it doesn't want to learn new things, then isn't that pretty much the definition of being lazy? So the brain often cannot afford such an investment. Yeah. Now, this would explain why, when we experience cognitive dissonance, it is easier to resolve this dissonance by this discomfort, by doubling down on our existing belief system, ignoring or explaining away the challenging, contradictory information. Again, here we go. So, for those who, and I'm going to use one that causes quite a bit of conflict, because, I can do that. For those who grew up in church, if someone says, okay, prove to me that there is a God, it becomes, well, prove to me that thing that you're feeling that is moving the trees right now is the wind. And that a lot of times ends up being the response. Because you can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't taste it. You feel it. But how else can you describe it other than a feeling? And so the belief that there is a God is a feeling. Are feelings tangible? Can you pick up my feeling and give it to someone else? No. But I can tell you what I'm feeling, and you can relate to it because of having previous experiences, and hearing what I'm saying to you, you can relate to it based on, here it is again, your brain coming to a conclusion based on previous experience. So, where do you go from there with your beliefs? Do you hold hard and fast to all your beliefs? Or as you learn something new, you apply that to your life as it is right now? And you basically take what works for you. Now, in doing so, where does that put us? Does that make us fall in line with what we're quote unquote supposed to do? Or does that put you in a place where, oh, I think differently from everybody else, so that makes me odd? Just thoughts, just my thoughts, DJ Kevin Stew's thoughts. That wasn't based on the information that I'm presenting courtesy of Psychology Today and Dr. Lewell. Now, but going back to that information, another important factor accounting for resistance to changing our beliefs is the way our beliefs are so often intertwined with how we define ourselves as people. Wasn't this what I was just saying? Our self-concept. Now, indeed, beliefs are associated with a part of the brain integrally involved in self-representation, the ventromedial prefrontal cortex. We want to feel that we are consistent with our behavior, aligning with our beliefs. We constantly try to rationalize our own actions and beliefs and try to preserve a consistent self-image. It's embarrassing and quite often costly in a variety of ways to admit that we are fundamentally wrong. So, should I address this wrong or right concept now or wait till later? Well, since it was brought up, here is DJ Kevin Stew going off on a tangent once again. The concept of right and wrong. Who determines? Is it based on popularity of that particular thing? Is it... Okay. True story. Someone I know and love dearly, someone I know personally, told me the story once of being a left-hander. Amongst all family members, that are right-handed. So much so that the price for using her left hand was punishment. So here we are. Because we all grew up on the concept of you do something right, you get rewarded. You do something wrong, you get punished. We all grew up on that concept. So here it is, based on that concept, whatever it is that we're doing and we're getting rewarded, we keep doing that because that feels good. That reward feels good. So we believe that that is the right thing to do. Not realizing that this right thing is based on the preference of someone else. So someone that is in charge, someone who who has authority, someone of power can say, this is right, and as a result of this being right, and me having the authority, me having the power to do this, that, or the next thing, I reward you for doing the right thing. However, you do something that is not in alignment with that belief of it being right, and now it becomes a wrong thing. Case in point. Someone is homeless and hungry. So they don't have a job, they're homeless, they live out on the street, they're vagrants. And you have a box of chicken. And you happen to go and sit in a park, and they frequent this park, and you have your child with you, and your child runs off, and you put down the box of food and you run off after your child. Because, of course, it's a big park, it's not safe. You're in a section of the park that it's not safe. You're not at the playground. Your child runs off, you run off behind them. And that vagrant, who is hungry, takes your food. Now, did they do something wrong? We are led to believe that it is the wrong thing to do, to take someone's food without asking. Now, had this vagrant not seen that you ran off after your child and just saw this box of food just sitting there and went and picked it up and said, hey, thank you, God, for this blessing. Because you knew I was hungry, I prayed for some food, and here it is, you provided it. Do you still think that the vagrant was wrong? Because here it is, they didn't know that someone left it there only to come back for it. All they saw was food. They were hungry, they prayed for food, and no one around. People throw away food all the time. So, again, are they wrong? Is he wrong at this point? It changes your concept of right or wrong when you look at it that way, doesn't it? So, and there are many more scenarios that you can create. Go ahead and create your own. Feel free. But apply that concept to everything else that you were taught was right or wrong. And where does that leave you? What now do you believe? In many cases, people have a lot invested personally in their belief system. They may have staked their reputation on a particular belief. Not infrequently, people structure their whole lives around a belief. And this investing may go far beyond a sense of self, extending to large material and financial investments or a life's career. A change of belief for such a person would obviously involve a monumental upheaval and may entail intolerable personal losses. No wonder it is so hard to change our cherished and entrenched beliefs. That basically explains why it would be hard. Because so much is invested. And whenever we have this type of attachment, we really can't let it go, can we? Or we find it difficult to do so. A lot of our belief framework is learned at an early age from parents and other adult authority figures. Many human beliefs are the cumulative, boy, what is wrong with me tonight? Are the cumulative products of millennia of human culture. Children are strongly predisposed to believe their parents, and as adults, we are inclined to believe authorities. It's a perpetual cycle, right? This is how cultures are formed. One individual in authority then starts to make laws. The other people in the community now abide by those laws, and there are people that are set in place to make sure to enforce that those laws are adhered to. The structure of our society. It is not surprising that our brains have evolved to more readily believe things told to us than to be skeptical. This makes evolutionary sense as a strategy for efficient learning from parents. As a social, tribal species, it promotes group cohesion. Some of you might remember some time ago I did a broadcast on groupthink. We have a tendency as social beings to go with what the masses say. So if you are 50.1% in agreement, that becomes the norm and the right. Forget what the 49.99 think, because they're in the minority. And majority rules. See how that works? People can be swayed by persuasive individuals or compelling ideas to override and reject their previously received authority. Sometimes this is rational, but sometimes it is not. People are susceptible to influence by charismatic ideologies and by social movements, especially when these offer new attachments and new self-identities imbued with more powerful affiliation, validation, esteem, and sense of purpose than the individual previously had in their life. So now you have someone with a louder voice, someone with a bigger bankroll, someone with more charisma telling you something, and boom, it becomes the new belief. I guess one could say that's how cults are formed, right? But what is a cult? Is it that religious structure that does not conform with the masses? One would wonder. It's time for another break. And when we come back, we're going to talk some more. Inviting you to call your friends, tell your friends once more. Come on over, it's Real Talk right here in the Night Shift of DJ Kevin Stew. We go through this segment and then we get into musical therapy. Tonight, we're talking beliefs. What do you believe? How did you get to the point where you are now with your beliefs? Do you think they can be changed? Should they be changed? Do they need to be changed? Things that make you go, We'll be right back.
Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion, Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production, so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind, and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise. Greetings and salutations. This is DJ Kevin Stew inviting you to bubble up and simmer down with me in the Saturday Stew right here on Reggae Global Radio. Get ready for the special segment called The Secret Ingredient, where you may hear from your favorite artist or producer. Saturday Stew happens every Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time exclusively on ReggaeGlobalRadio.com, where we get high on reggae.
Teddy Greaves Jr. with 6 brand new songs out now on his brand new EP, Teddy Greaves Jr. with songs you know and love like Can You Stop the Rain? One Last Cry. Can't Get Over You. Wait Too Long. You and I. And One Last Cry, the acoustic version. Teddy Greaves Jr., now available on all major digital platforms. Teddy Greaves Jr.
Hey yo, this is Caraman to let you know that right about now you are logged on to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. Don't move.
And roses by bottles of champagne. Your favorite, I'm great at keeping a promise. Wrote letters, 10 pages to tell ya I'm in it, I wanna stay. And I'll show you in every way. You're skeptical still, well, I'm loving all you. And I'm super confused how my actions don't convince you. You're skeptical still, so I'll remind you. Takeout, stop binging on old films. Get dressed up, we go out. It's hard to make a choice. We're both indecisive. All I know, I'm in it, I wanna stay. And I'll show you in every way. You're skeptical still, well, I'm loving all you. And I'm super confused how my actions don't convince you. You're skeptical still, so I'll remind you. You're not.
If I never told you I love you,
I never told.
Just know that I do.
It's easy to say.
Now the question is, do you believe me?
show you what I mean. So you just got.
Yeah, that's $1 million question right there. I want to say thank you to my segment sponsor, Reggae Global Entertainment, for sponsoring this segment of the broadcast.
I love you, I do. I never.
Reggae Global Entertainment will take care of your tour management, your bookings, your publishing, your trademarks, legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion, and so much more. Give them a call, 954-804-8199. That's 954-804-8199. Or check them out online, reggaeglobalentertainment.com. In the background, the sound of Royce. A track called If I Loved You. If I loved you, you would know. The question is, would you believe it? Would you know it because I told you, or would you know it because it has been your experience? How would you know? Talking tonight, our general subject area tonight is beliefs. And we've been looking at some information courtesy of Psychology Today. Now, science, as according to the article, values the changing of minds through disapproving previously held beliefs and challenging received authority with new evidence. That's what science typically does. Already, you can see where there's a problem here, right? Challenge? Oh no. Why would you want to challenge? Well, this definition of what science is in sharp contrast to faith. And we're not talking about just religious faith. Faith is far more natural and intuitive to the human brain than is science. Science requires training. It is a disciplined method that tries to systematically overcome or bypass our intuitions and cognitive biases and follow the evidence regardless of our prior beliefs, regardless of our expectations. Doesn't matter what our preferences are or even our personal investment. The increasing application of the scientific method in the last 4 centuries ushered in unprecedented accelerating processes in humanity's quest to understand the nature of reality and vast improvements in quality of life. Discovering just how mistaken we collectively were about so many things has been the key to sensational societal progress. Think about this. If today you would go back in time with the knowledge you have today, think about how people would look at you. If you told them that there are people driving around on streets that don't have in vehicles that don't use gasoline, they'd probably tell you that you're crazy. Let's say you went back, 50 years, 40 years, 30 years even. They'd tell you that you're crazy. If you told someone that you had a watch that you could make a phone call on, they would tell you that they only see that in cartoons. That's something that people do on the Jetsons. That's not real life. Let's go back even further than that. Let's go back a few centuries. Medieval times. People have riding horses, and their way of life is farming. and you go and you tell them that you were playing the stock markets and you made several $1,000s, they'll ask you, what craziness are you talking about? And then you I don't know, do a simple experiment, create a generator, and find some way to generate light. You create the bulb. You recreate the bulb. Because now you're going back in time with today's knowledge, right? So you recreate the bulb. Of course, they're going to believe that what you are doing is black magic. If you go back to a time where there is something life-changing was going to happen, and you get there just before it happens, let's say just before an earthquake, just before a volcanic eruption, just before something, someone dies, someone is born, whatever it is, and you say, hey, this is going to happen, and it happens, one of two things will happen to you. You are going to be held in high esteem, and people are going to flock to you for information because you are all-knowing, or you're going to be burned at the stake as a witch. You choose. But seriously, this is what would happen. And this is based on just knowing what you know now. So science has a way of addressing some of those things. And so here it is. You have your knowledge of what life is and how things are supposed to be. And science comes around and says, hey, if this is done this way and we apply this to it and we take this mirror and we put it to face the sun at this angle, then we can create this light in this section of this house or this building, and it will save us whatever amount, however much electricity cost, because now we don't need to use light in that section of the building. Science has taught us that. But prior to that, we believed that we always had to have these bulbs to generate light. And it's a simple belief that was changed by knowing how light is reflected from a shiny surface. Mind-blowing, right? No, not really. But apply that concept to other things in our lives. Imagine if each of us as individuals could cultivate a scientific attitude of rigorous critical thinking and curiosity in our personal lives, and could experience an exhilarating feeling of discovery whenever we find we have been wrong about something important. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop thinking admirably about the faith and belief as if they were actual virtues. Whoa, that's deep. Why would someone even want to do that? Who would want to do that? But why not? Why wouldn't we want to do that? It is said that faith is based on belief without evidence, whereas science, that is based on evidence without belief.
Hey yo, this is Caraman to let you know that right about now you are logged on to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. Don't move.
I don't know about them now. Anybody who tell me something can't.
What we're gonna do right now is jump into musical therapy a little bit earlier than normal, but we're kicking it off with a little Hezron. leaving you with that little bit of a thought. Faith is based on belief without evidence. Science is based on evidence without belief. The track is called Man on a Mission.
Anybody who tell me something I can't do it, it only make me go harder. Here I am. Here I am. Oh. Man on a mission. Yeah. Man on a mission. Yeah. Here I am. When the lion is asleep, the jungle mumbles. When the lion is awake, all heads bow, the jungle humbles. We just ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Smallest eyes rock the biggest bones. So who said it can't be done? Well, here I am, ready for the test, ready with a clasp of hands, yeah. Here I am, a man on a mission, yeah. A man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. Man on a mission. We still up on the battlefield, still hungry for the belief. If you believe you can achieve it, and when you see, just take it. The world is yours, the world is mine. Let's live our dream, yeah. So who said we can't? It can't be done. Well, here I am, ready for the test, ready with a clasp of hands, yeah. Here I am, a man on a mission, yeah. A man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. Get out the way, get out the way. I'm coming for a slice of the cake. Get out the way, get out the way. I'm coming for a slice of the cake. What you gonna say now? What you gonna do? Ready or not, ready for the test, get in. Ready with a glass of hands, yeah. Here I am, I'm man on a mission, yeah. Man on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. You think you're burying me and done, but you only planted a seed. Get ready, I'm coming.
Give you a heads round double play.
Man, you think you're burying me and done, but you only planted a seed.
Talk about beliefs.
Get ready, I'm coming.
Here's what you believe.
Think you're burying me and done.
That is your belief, but here's the reality.
Get ready, I'm coming.
You planted a seed.
Get ready, I'm coming. 'Cause I'm a man. I take it all on my chin. I take my losses. I take my wins. You keep standing on my back. You better get up on my back. You think you bury me undone, but you only planted us. Get ready, I'm coming. Get ready, I'm coming. You think you got me down under the ground, but you only planted us. Get ready, I'm coming. Get ready, I'm coming. You think you when you planted a seed. Get ready, I'm coming. Get ready, I'm coming. It doesn't matter. Anywhere in the world, people are people.
the sound of AJ Brown. It's called People Are People.
Live their lives and raise their family. People are people wherever they may go. Whether strangers or someone you know, every day they strive to make the best of their lives. Yeah. People are people wherever they may be, trying to live their lives and raise their families. People are people wherever they may go. With members of their household or living alone, at work, at play, or at school, or even on vacation. People are people wherever they may be. Oh, I'm wishing that things could be different.
This is Marcel J. Ball.
My things will be missing.
Track is called Wishing.
Can't find no work, though I tried so very hard. God knows it hurts.
Yes, it hurts.
I can't pay my rent, bills are overdue. No matter what happens, got to push on through. I'm willing to work for the things that I want and need. I'm up and running, I'm ready to proceed. But life throws you lemons, so you make lemonade. Life throws you curves, you gotta know how to swerve. So I'm wishing that things could be different. Right now what's saving is missing. I ain't got a cent, I can't find no work, though I tried so very hard. God knows it hurts. Got to get a job. Mama always said to me, listen well, I know your history, 'cause when the train
This is Christina Alicia.
only you can present.
It's called The Roots Rock Reggae.
When the train you can be nobody else. Be roots and proud. Oh yeah. Be you and proud. Roots rock reggae. Be roots and proud. Oh yeah. And shout it out loud.
on a coolie, baby.
Killy the rich.
It's called Take Flight.
No face when me see them up in the sky. Me a fly high on me plane. Lucky things set up, they have no length. Come me a swear. Her life is a journey. But thank for that God.
Coolie baby celebrated her Earth Day this week.
Me this way, but me still get up and me pray. Yes, my mother teach me them ways. Yes, she grow me to own me stay. Me learn me lesson with the friend that me keep. Bad mind people you just can't teach. No matter if you put the song on repeat with no beat. Me learn feel worry, let's pray more. That is the way, more time. I go make you shine. Whether you have a dollar or a dime. Ayo, I know in a no lie. I know in a DI. When me touch them, I come live. And people are pull out from fi catch fire. Judge, I know my side. I'm search my heart in the mind. My plane is taking off. Sometime me land and pick up new people. Sometime me land and drop them same people. Sometime me no land at all. Sometime me go on with me pace 'cause my plane can't fall. Jaja, you know the real. Jaja, you know how I feel. Jaja, we make that deal. We promise, you promise, me promise. You promise me you're not gonna leave me. Me promise you commands me keep it. You promise me you're not make me fall. Me promise you between us me not build no wall. You promise me shall see the lights right. Me promise you say me will put up a fight. You promise me no forsaken or smite. Me promise you my gifts them will shine bright. You promise me say you easy pain. Me promise you say fully not complain. You promise me to show me the way out. Me promise you to try stay up on the right road. You promise me say my dream will come true. Me promise you to stay in love with you. You promise me to keep me right through the night. And I promise for that got me I go take this flight. Alright.
Real hot topic from the tropics. And if a good song me have to drop it. Yeah.
This is on a Denver Downer. New music from him.
You gotta be firm because
It's called No Will, No Way.
keep the fire burning. Cause there is no, don't stop, keep moving on. There is no, it's never over till you're done. There is no, I don't even feel it's right to get up every day with defeat in mind. Good lamps burn hot, give the realest light. Ambition I go come with the realest fight. Oh gosh, and them already try. Enough of them I go lie. And that's why me keep job by my side. This journey been a heck of a ride. I rock 1,000 miles. Hey, the destination smelling like roses. My snapshot a better life, no poses. Never fear the enemies, me ready for the foes. Never be defeated, no. Hey, one chance of it to making the most. Pedal to the metal, put the wheels to the road. Life come with a couple bruises, couple blows, but I'll never be defeated, no. You gotta be firm because when there is no, there is no. Keep the fire burning cause when there is no, there is no.
I need you to pull up that song, them like it, but
Yeah man, it wicked for real. New music from Denver Downer.
No will, no way.
That's the title of the track right there.
Real hot topic from the tropics. And if a good song me have to drop it. Yeah. Keep it clean. You gotta be firm because when there is no, there is no. Keep the fire burning cause when there is no, there is no. Don't stop, keep moving on. When there is no, there is no. It's never over till you're done. When there is no, I don't even feel it's right to get up every day with defeat in mind. Good lamps burn hot, give the realest light. Ambition I go come with the realest fight. Oh gosh, and them already try. Enough of them I go lie. And that's why me keep job by my side. This journey been a heck of a ride. I rock 1,000 miles. Hey, the destination smelling like roses. My snapshot a better life, no poses. Never fear the enemies, me ready for the foes. Never be defeated, no. Hey, one chance of it to making the most. Pedal to the metal, put the wheels to the road. Life come with a couple bruises, couple blows, but I'll never be defeated, no. You gotta be firm because when there is no, there is no. Keep the fire burning cause when there is
things get rough, you feel like you can't make it. Just call upon God, you not even need credit. Unemployment high, enough people can't take it. Things been crazy, read the pandemic. I remember the economy freeze, and people would have killed if you cough or sneeze. Health workers risk life and put the nation at ease. Most people would have planned to postpone their dreams. Yet in the midst of the panic, never sing Titanic. Develop the right habits, help them who don't have it. Even if it's just a bit, get at it. Good things can come from bad now if you really look at it. Look around, on the road to better days we cannot travel alone. Determination gets on me from the comb. Before we dance abroad, we got to do it at home. I mean, you gotta be firm because when there is no will, there is no way. Keep the fire burning, cause when there is no will, there is no way. Don't stop, keep moving. When there is no will, there is no way. It's never over till when there is no will, there is no way.
For so long, you and me been finding each other for so long.
It's that monster hit tune from Joanna Marie.
More than strong.
Track called I Just Want to Be Your Everything.
If you give a little more than you're asking for, your love will turn the key. Darling, I would wait forever for those lips of wine. Build my world around you, darling. This love will shine, boy. Watch it and see. If you give a little more than you're asking for, your love will turn the key. I just wanna be your everything. Open up the heaven in your heart and let me be the things you are to me, and not some puppet on a string. Oh, if I stay here without you, darling, I will die. I want you laying in the love I have to bring. I'd do anything to be your everything. To be your everything. Darling, for so long, you and me been finding each other for so long. And the feeling that I feel for you is more than strong, boy. Take it from me. If you give a little more than you're asking for, your love will turn the key. I just wanna be your everything. Open up the heaven in your heart and let me be the things you are to me, and not some puppet on a string. Oh, if I stay here without you, darling, I will die. I want you laying in the love I have to bring. I'd do anything to be your everything.
Thank you all for hanging out with me as we rock through our musical therapy to close out this week on the night shift. This is that tune that I just absolutely, positively love, courtesy of Marcia J. Ball, working out with Dora and I. It's called Another Love Song.
Almost like a dream. If the winds would up and take me to where it all begins. I'm so caught up in another love song, praying that it never goes wrong, floating on a melody of what it really feels to be loved. Moments of emotion shared by two who really, really care. I'm caught up in the rapture of you, and I don't wanna let go. Your love is my resource, my constant comfort zone, and I come to you whenever I'm feeling alone. You never let me down. You always lift my spirit. So grateful that you're with me. I'm thankful that you I'm so caught up in another love song, praying that it never goes wrong, floating on a melody of what it really feels to be loved. Moments of emotion shared by when you work on trust and you don't stop riding waves of love and build it up. Take a leap of faith and don't give in. Love one another. If your love is like an open door, make sure you get what you're looking for. Grab a hold on life and don't let go. Love one another. I'm so caught up in another love song, praying that it never goes wrong. Floating on the melody of what it really feels to be love. Moments of emotion shared by two who really, really care. I'm caught up in the rapture of you.
You're the only one that I live for.
Oh, heavens, so music just turns me on.
This is Tennille working out with Fiona. Their rendition of I'm in Love.
I feel that you know how I feel. And if you're with me in the morning, you will see. And if you know what I know, then you know, baby, that I'm okay with you. Right day by day, I'm in love with you, with you. I'm in love with you. 'Cause I found me some that can make me feel so good. I'm in love with you. So I realized what I pictured, you and me, far away in the world where we belong. In my head, I see you with no one else. No one else. No one. The way I understand your love, there is no other way that we can never let it go. And if you see the things I see, you will see that it's you and me. For reason to, I'm in love with you, with you. I'm in love with you. 'Cause I found me some that can make me feel so good. I'm in love with you.
So Fiona was working out with Tennille on that one. It's Fiona by herself. Track called Shoulder.
Wish I could take all your pain away. There's nothing I won't do to help you get to your better days.
Shoulder to lean on. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. No, I can make miracles. No, I can save you from your fears, but I can love you and show you things will be alright.
Whenever you're ready, I'll be by your side. Oh, sorry. She put you through all the things she did. She was so selfish. There was just taking and no give, no consideration. She said you did nothing for her life. She's such a bully, dictating your movements every time. Yeah.
Whenever you need me, I'll be there.
I can make miracles.
No, I can save you from your
But I
fears, but I can love you and show you things will be alright.
Whenever you're ready, I'll be by your side. Oh, she has no problems moving on without you.
seagull.
Boy, the tracks on this rhythm right here.
I know you love me too. You've got to let me know.
I don't know.
'Cause there's a part of me to you I wanna show.
Let's keep you captivated.
'Cause you are my sweetheart.
This is the sound of Levy.
So perfect for me.
Track is called Sweetheart.
You are my sweetheart. And I am your queen. Why keep searching for something I know I wouldn't find? When you've been right here in front of me all this time. I'm telling you this now so you could understand that loving you is easy. I'm sure that you're the one, the one. 'Cause you're my sweetheart, so perfect for me. You are my sweetheart, and I am your queen. How many times must I hear it? Just one word.
This is Shamika.
I don't care what they say, you know I'll always choose you.
It's called Priority.
You don't know that there's no me without you, and I can't even seem to breathe without you. This kind of love is worth fighting for. And honey, I promise, loving you is my priority. You know I'll never let you go, never giving up, no. I promise, loving you is my security. Yeah.
15 minutes before I get out of here, 15 minutes to the top of the hour.
Love is like food to my soul, there's no way that I can let go. Just a kiss from your lips, nothing sweet like this. Give me more and more. And baby, you're my sweetheart. We got this love of a lifetime. Can't let this good thing go. And baby, I promise, loving you is my priority. You know I'll never let you go, never giving up, no. I promise, loving you is my security. Yeah, I'd have to see
This is Alicia Marie. So listen, hey, just go ahead and play me. That's what I'm doing, Alicia. I'm playing you right now. It's called the Sweet Thoughts Rhythm.
Would you caress me? Take time to undress me. Would you play me the same way? Lately, every time I would see you play, I feel you move a certain way. And there were many times I would imagine that you would play me the same way. Yeah, the way you move me, the way you groove me, you got me feeling in the mood. No lie, would you caress me?
The son of the one and only Kashif Lindo. Track called Till Them Burn Down the House.
Do you want more proof? Are you gonna wait till them burn down the house? Burn down the house, burn down the house. Then take off the roof. Do you want more proof? Are you gonna wait till them burn down the house? Burn down the house, burn down the house. They're destroying land, air, and sea. Then like say that's how it has to be. Got most of us to agree. Replacing living things with robots and concrete jungle. Don't wait for when the time to tumble, rumble and crumble. Right now we're bottled water, oxygen tank coming after a total disaster. Disaster. Then take off the roof. Do you want more proof? Are you gonna wait till the burn down the house? Burn down the house, burn down the house. Then take off the roof. Do you want more proof? Are you gonna wait till the burn down the house? Burn down the house, burn down the house.
Looking at the beautiful sunshine.
This is the sound of Twiggerific one.
Disappointing thoughts of you.
Twiggy.
My mind never.
The track is called Incapable.
The last time I never understand why were you so unkind. So bad I didn't give you my love. Years gone by. So bad I didn't give you my love. It never ever crossed my mind. But glad you showed me the sign was incapable of love. I did not want to get into your way of your relationship, but that's all you have to say. You're playing hide and seek when I'm around. Maybe you did not trust yourself. You avoided me when I'm in town. So glad I didn't give you my love. Years gone by. So glad I didn't give you my good love. It never ever crossed my mind. So glad you showed me the sign of your. I said your. Thought you were my best friend. Thought you were my best friend. Looking at the beautiful sunshine, disappointing thoughts of you cloud my mind. Never liked your treatment the last time. I never understand why were you so unkind. So glad I didn't give you my love. So glad I didn't give you my good night. It never ever crossed my mind. But glad you showed me the sign.
United we'll stand, divided we fall.
This is the sound of Mr. Kirk Davis.
Living in the
You may know him as Little Kirk.
I'll never be a victim of this this world. And
track is called Every Little Step.
Try to live your life, do the things that are right. Give praises every day and night. Never you hurt your brother. Oh, no. Always love your mother. Yeah, yeah. Treat her right and be good to your sister. Never you hate your father. Never commit thy neighbor. Never. Cause life can be so unfair. Come on, love the little children. Why don't you pretend? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Every little step we take, every move that we make, there is something that try to keep you back. Every little step that we take, every move that we make. See, we're rising and rising to the top. Every little step that we take, every little move that we make, there is someone that try to hold you back. Every little step that we take, every little move that we make. Jungle when we will stumble, got to be strong, keep the faith, and stay humble, doing what is right, fighting the good fight, letting your light shine so bright, never watch but mine, people can be unkind, stay focused, till it's your time. Say the things that's good, doing what you should. Letting your light shine so bright, every little step we take.
As we close out this night shift week, I got one more for you. The sound of G-Mac. Celebrating his Earth date this week. Yesterday, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna be celebrating this Saturday night inside Valencia's with Rhythms of the Heart. This is his rendition of Kissing You.
When you're not here, I long to hold you near. Maybe this time together we must spend, holding you close, taking time to let you know. Tonight's the night we will share. Turn off the lights, come close to me. Tell me I'm all you ever need. Tell me it's not just a dream. And if it is, my heart believes that you are mine, and this is real. Loving you all through the night.
Share my love.
It will be alright.
Together, kissing you.
Loving you all through the night.
Share my love.
It will be alright, yeah. What's better than a love that's made for two? I cannot count the ways I feel for you, but you should know, and starting from today.
Just want to say thank you once more to everyone locked in and listening and sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As we close out this Real Talk night, say thanks to the affiliates: Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com, NIE Radio, PEMGTV.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to say thank you to my segment sponsor, McNeil Trucking. With McNeil Trucking, you're in good hands. Give them a call 954-406-9740 for your moving needs. Tell them DJ Kevin Stew sent you. And as we go, I want to remind you, look out for members of your community. And your community is not just the development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. So those that you pass on the bus, on the plane, the boat, or the train, whether you walk, ride, or drive, these are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is DJ Kevin Stew, so I like to do it to you, for you, and with you. Every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday right here, kevinstew.com. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. Catch you Saturday on Reggae Global Radio for the Saturday Stew, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, you don't want to miss it. It's always a fun vibe. You get more musical therapy. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you wherever you are in the world. From right here in South Florida, I bid you all a good night. Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The Night Shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.